Hello and welcome to episode 55 of the Knobcat Games Dungeons of the Obelisk podcast. I'm your host, Joe Sleppy. I'm Executive Prime at Knobcat Games. This show is our audio devlog where we get together every 2 weeks and we talk about our game, Dungeons of the Obelisk, which is a 2D turn-based dungeon crawling loot grinding adventure. And I'm joined today by our digital alchemist, TJ Yedicernia.
Hello.
And our animancer, Giver of Movement, Nike Deer.
Hello.
And this is going to be a loose kind of podcast. We don't really have a lot of topics written down, I guess, but we'll do some of the usual bug talk and see what else we get into, I guess. I mean, I guess to get started, we could maybe talk about that bug you were talking about that's been lingering for a long, long time, and you finally started trying to get into it, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, recently I've been kind of holding off on making any builds or anything because of this one bug. I guess it's kind of multiple, really. It's like a variety of bugs is causing trash and uncommon gear, the gear that's able to stack on itself to not delete itself properly, and like depending on what you do, you can accidentally duplicate it. Like I was messing around with it earlier and I had 10, then I had 20, then I had 40, and it just keeps going up and up.
Like when you try to salvage it?
When you salvage it, it disappears, but then if you do anything, like let's say you load out and log back in, it just doubles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a weird issue where inside the system, the loot is getting duplicated, and then from there, after it duplicates, anytime you do something with it, because there's multiple there, it tries to delete some, but it doesn't delete them all. And then once you load back on, it just ends up reduplicating the ones that you didn't fully get rid of, and it just keeps stacking and stacking like that.
That's not good. I wonder why I've never really noticed that.
It seems to be based off how much a player doesn't deal with their loot and how often the player will do the same level. Like, I really noticed it when I ran level 1 a ton of times. I just keep running level 1 because, like, if I'm trying to test out, like, hey, does this level work? Is it working as it should? It's just easier to go through the first level.
Yeah.
And eventually I realized it's like I have 10 different chest plates. They're all the exact same stat, but they're all slotted in different areas where they're not supposed to be.
That's so bizarre. I might have to, like, look around. I guess you maybe got it close to fixed.
Yeah, I want to say really close by now. I'm putting it in where it's like, if you ever have a situation like that, it'll start putting them together. Like if you have 10 chest plates in total, but they're scattered between 3 different slots, it'll then grab them, force them together, and then from there delete the older ones.
Right.
So it's more or less at the point where it'll just like piece all of them together. It'll put them in and then just clear out the server of what you shouldn't have. Just want to make sure that it works fine and doesn't actually cause any issues once it's built in released.
Right, and it doesn't happen to like rares and legendaries because they don't stack, right?
Yeah, because they can't stack at all. It can't happen to them ever. I want to say it happens more often if you equip the item that's stacking.
Oh, okay.
Which, like a low-level player, you're going to have trash armor at the beginning, so it makes sense that you would equip it. But once you reach a higher level where blues and above is the only thing you would ever use, you'll never see it, because realistically a player is just not going to use that quality anymore.
Right, but in the future when we add more things that you can spend those materials on, then it would be like a hack. You could spawn it, basically like glitch in a bunch of like crafting materials to trade for like fishing bait or something.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where as much as the resource itself is, it's the lowest quality, it's still, you don't want players to be able to endlessly duplicate it like that.
Right, yeah, there definitely has to be an economy for even that lower level stuff. For now, it doesn't have much use. You just end up stacking it for a long time, but we are eventually, I do eventually have some like ideas of things, where you can either trade up to try and get like legendary stuff with it, or you can, spend it on, like I said, maybe fishing bait or something in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Made me realize that I can't tell if I cheated earlier or if I just have some other issue, but I have like 6 million of every resource in the game.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember if I did that or not, so I'm trying to I gotta like search through other things and see if other people have had that.
I'm not having any issues with it really. I haven't seen anything spawn in. We fixed the morbid gasp issue a while ago, right? Where you would just all of a sudden end up with like 1 million morbid gasps after one battle.
Oh yeah, that was cleared up. That was a pretty convenient bug though, if a player ever had it.
Trying to think of what else there was. I feel like the bug reporting has slowed down a bit. I don't know if everybody's played enough or just hasn't been finding any bugs, but I did hear back that our anti-cheat is working. Maybe shouldn't talk about it on the podcast too much, but yeah, the anti-cheat stuff that basically closes the game when it catches the player cheating, like that's verified to work properly. And he couldn't get around it, so
I'm actually glad to hear that, because you never really know when it comes to cheating if what you put in is going to actually stop somebody. There's just so many different ways to actually do it.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody can get around it. I mean, it's not a challenge or whatever, but I mean, if you're out there and you do get around it, please let us know, because it would be nice to fix it, because not everybody's as honest. But for now, I'm feeling confident that it's at least going to be, you can't just download a program off the internet and cheat now. You'd have to really work around it.
Gotta make sure they put the work in.
Yeah, at least if you're going to cheat, do the work.
See, I'm more of like a casual cheater in a game. If there's like an item duplication glitch or something, I might duplicate a couple items, but I'm not going to go through the effort of like, I'm going to mod my files or download something to actually cheat my game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like the same way. I'm like not gonna, like, if I have to download 2 programs to get a texture pack in Minecraft, I'm not doing it.
That's already pushing it.
Yeah.
I guess I like to just look for mostly glitches in games when I, air quotes cheat, because like I think of like FromSoft games where sometimes you can find an enemy that's like way too overpowered, but if you like cheese it in just the right way, like you get all the experience from it. And then I just like farm that until I'm whatever level I need for the game to start feeling fair. Yeah.
I feel like that's so bad in Elden Ring. It's like you go to a single little spot, use a single little attack with a specific weapon, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, I got 100,000 souls.
Yep. I found this giant crow and I lure it off a cliff, and every time I lure it off that cliff I get like a couple thousand souls. I'm just like, yep.
Wait,
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
So I have not played this, but it's a crow.
Yeah, so
and it falls off a cliff.
Okay, so it's a giant crow, and it's very, like, decrepit looking, like, it looks sickly and stuff, like, you don't think it could fly just by looking at it.
Okay.
And what happens is you use, like, crossbow or a bow, and you shoot it across this ravine, and if you hit him just right, he'll turn and run towards you, but there's a ravine between you and him, so... So he just falls off.
Falls right off.
And then you just get the rewards, then you just rest at the bonfire or whatever, and then, rinse and repeat until you're level like 100 or whatever. And the game is still hard, even after you do that.
I think in our game, if it works properly, if you like farmed level 1, it should give you less experience as you get higher level, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It does exactly that.
Yeah, so it pays to be doing the hardest level you can.
Yeah, I've pretty much exclusively been doing a normal Breach until I can beat Breach on hard, which somehow I still have not been able to do. I think my build needs more speed, or something, because the mobs get in a lot of attacks before I get one in, so...
Yeah, you either have to have more speed to, like, hit them before they hit you, or enough constitution to be able to take all those attacks.
And that's the thing, like, my build right now can, like, one-shot a lot of enemies, but then, like, he'll just get killed by a boss, because... So I'm like, if I can make her a little less of a glass cannon, then I think I will probably get through that. That's been my current goal, is trying to make a build to get through hard Breach.
I remember way back in testing, I ended up, I forced my character to like level 15.
Nice.
which it actually became a bigger problem than a solution because, as much as I'm level 15, the enemies are only level 10. So I wasn't gaining XP from them anymore, or I was gaining virtually none. So I couldn't level up my Paragon anymore, just completely locked out. It's like every enemy, 1 XP. 1 million more for a Paragon point.
Yeah, I guess I only just hit Paragon 6, before the call, actually. I was playing a little this morning.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that because I hadn't noticed you on the leaderboard, so I was thinking like you were saying you couldn't do hard yet. But yeah, you're Paragon 16, so...
Oh, 16. I thought it said 16. I wasn't sure if I was misremembering that or not.
Yeah, so 16, you're still at the level where I'd expect you to have to farm up some more legendaries, I would think, before you could really get past hard.
It's I mostly get through most of it. It's usually I'll get to the boss, and then the boss will be the wall I can't get past, so... I feel like I'm close, but yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works pretty much all the time. For me, I can take out all the mobs, all the trash mobs or whatever, but then the boss is the one that, he's the boss for a reason.
Oh yeah. It's great for farming EXP though. Even if I die, it's just okay, well, I killed this many mobs, so I'll just go do it again.
Yeah, I think if you go through and you die to the boss, it's probably worth it if you're trying to farm XP, but the boss is the best chance at getting legendaries.
Yeah, I know. I know. After a point, you're gonna want to start just farming the boss drops and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I feel like I gotta try a fair playthrough of the game.
All this time, you've never played a fair?
I have, for the most part. I've definitely gotten to level 10 fairly, but I have not gotten much further than 10. Or, I guess, through the Paragons.
Yeah.
It's once I hit breaches, and then from there I'm kind of just cheating most of the time. My current character may or may not have stats in the thousands.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, I kind of did the opposite, I guess, because I was I've tested the early game a bit at this point, playing it through development, so I think I kind of sped through the early game a little bit with buffs and stuff, and then now I'm at a point where it's just based on how good my build is, so it feels like I'm kind of playing fair now. But I definitely started it out a little wonky with being a dev and all.
Yeah, you can definitely speed through the dungeons using if you get a Barsoom or something like that, you can go pretty quick, but it still takes a decent amount of time, and then the real game is trying to beat the breaches, which definitely takes a good amount of time to farm up the items, even if you do have the buffs and stuff.
For what it's worth too, even with the buffs and everything, I found myself getting to a point in the later floors, around floor 7, 8, 9, 10, where I would almost always hit some kind of wall and then have to rebuild my character a little and then reattempt. So I feel the balance was, the difficulty was balanced pretty well in that regard, because I wasn't able to breeze through the entire 10 levels, even, just the first few, maybe.
Yeah, the idea for the dungeons was you should be able to beat the next level if you have all rares of the previous level. Obviously you can maybe do it a little easier than that, but as long as you farm and get rares, you should be able to progress through the dungeons.
Yeah.
But once you get to the breach, then you start basically needing legendaries.
Yeah, I've really got to the part where I pretty much salvage all my rares now. I'm just legendaries, please.
yeah. I like getting to that point because then you don't have to pay attention to anything but legendaries. You hit salvage, trash, uncommon, rare, salvage, filtered, done.
That really does explain probably why I haven't ran into the duplication glitch as much either, because I'm just trashing things constantly, or salvaging them. So.
Yeah, it's the average player isn't even gonna hit this issue, but
it's there. Yeah, and I don't know if there's a way to exploit that, but if someone found a way to exploit it for personal gain, that would suck too.
Yeah, that's one of those things that, like, it would be on a wiki or something, or a Reddit post or something, like, here's how to farm infinite materials in Dungeons of the Obelisk. Like, you know, we don't really want that if we can help it. You know, not that there's anything to do with them now, but like I said, in the future, there's definitely going to be more things to sink your gold and your crafting materials into.
That makes sense.
You know, it does remind me. Recently, I did fix the. I guess this is another loot issue. I fixed the issue where items would sometimes get labeled as equipped, even if they weren't, and then eventually you would just have things that look like they would start disappearing over time. Because, like, when the game scans your loot and it finds one item that's equipped, it puts that on, and if it finds another that's supposed to be equipped, it swaps the two out. So one of them would just disappear and never be seen, while the other one would just be equipped when it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, we talked about that last podcast, and I think I said, like, see if two or if multiple things are equipped, then move the oldest one to the inventory, right?
Yep.
So it worked out.
Yeah, it seemed to have solved the issue where, like, just forces in the inventory, it says, like, hey, this item's not equipped, correct that in the system, and then just kind of cleared it right up.
I guess I kind of noticed that, but I wasn't really sure what was going on, so I kind of hesitated to, like, make a bug report on it. But I did have a couple times where, when I first started doing the playtest, where I would notice I'd log into the game and I'd have different stuff equipped, or sometimes it seemed like certain items just kind of disappeared. But then I would, like, kind of second guess myself about it and just continue on. But that makes a lot of sense, actually. And for what it's worth, when I logged in today, it was, like, just like I left it, so it seems like it's consistent now.
Yeah, for a while I thought it was like the loot was just not getting saved, or maybe it was getting deleted or something, but it really was just as simple as, like, hey, this loot is marked as equipped when it actually isn't.
And what would cause that, though? Is it I mean, it's just a bug, I guess, or is it like a save error that causes it to both be equipped?
It seems like it might be dependent on when it's unequipped or something, because it's relatively reliable. Like, when you take off an item, it's a little single letter inside the system that's, like, true or false on if it's equipped. And every time you put it on, it gets marked as true. Every time you take it off, it gets marked as false. But there's some type of a save error somewhere, or maybe some instances where you unequip an item and it doesn't realize it, where it continues to save as equipped. I almost wonder if it's maybe caused by an instance where, like, let's say you pick up an item and you drag it onto a slot that already has one equipped, and then it doesn't realize, like, this item that you are unequipping is no longer on your character, and then it just gets stuck.
Yeah, it also seems like it happens earlier in your playthrough, but once you, like, get going, it seems like it doesn't happen at least as often. So maybe, like, when you're switching stuff more often at the beginning of a playthrough, you know, once you get, like, all legendaries, you don't swap them out as often.
Yeah, which does make me wonder, like, it could just be because of the trash loot and how they're stackable. That, or could just be, like, if you're rapidly doing it, it messes up, because if you do it that quickly, then sometimes you're just causing a lot of calls to the server, and that just might be too much when you're doing it that quick.
I gotcha.
Yep, they don't make it easy.
Yeah, if it was easy, anyone could do it.
That's true.
It wouldn't have took 2.5 years to make this game.
A lot of little parts to keep track of, for sure. You don't think about how much goes into, like, making sure it all syncs up with the server side and stuff until you start doing it, I guess.
And especially when the shift was happening between, like, no server to having the server.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that was fairly recently as far as the overall dev goes, huh? Like a few months, right?
Yeah, like just the beginning of this year. Yeah, in hindsight, it would have been better to have just started with the server from the beginning, but it didn't seem like, at the time, it didn't seem like that was what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, I feel like that was definitely easy to underestimate how, I guess, tough or how much work it could be.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually getting an understanding of, like, there's a lot of data limits that I didn't really expect, because, you know, I look at everything saved is basically a list of words, and I figured something as simple as, like, movement speed as a word isn't too big, But it turns out even something that long ends up being too much. So I had to shorten movement speed to like MS. It has to be the letter MS that is then converted later, just to keep it as small as possible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I tended to name things as long as possible. Like critical chance. Instead of like crit or something, you know? So probably didn't make it any easier.
Luckily, any words like that, like they tend to condense down pretty easily, where you could see it as the letters and know what they mean sometimes. Like crit chance, CC, crit damage, CD.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Condense it down, make PlayFab happy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else we've done recently. It's mostly just been you fixing bugs. We haven't really done too much. You know, it's exciting, I guess, that the Test Realm is out and our release date, I guess, is March 28th.
Oh wow, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, because today is the 1st when we're recording, so.
My goodness, it's already March.
Yeah, it's coming in close.
Yeah, what do you think? Are we going to be ready on the 28th?
Based off things that are left, it should be ready to go by then.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's playable. You know, I feel like all the major bugs that everybody, you know, reported right at the beginning are all pretty much ironed out now. There was a few little things that maybe I want to talk about off air, like with some specific items and some stuff that certain people were seeing. But yeah, I think right now, like, it's reasonable that a large amount of people could just get in and play it normally, and then if they have a bug or something, then of course there's always a support email or the Discord. Oh yeah, I just looked at this on our doc. Has the first thing, I think the very first thing that anybody sent me when the Test Realm was live was that clicking things doesn't have a sound.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody else notice that, or does anybody else even care?
I mean, I notice it in other games when they include it, but I guess I never thought about it with ours. Huh. Maybe that's an expectation that I didn't realize people had.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, whenever I click, I hear my mouse click, so like I don't. Yeah, no, I don't know if I need a sound or not. I was thinking about maybe we could have an option in the settings where it's like mouse clicks and it's off by default, but then you can turn it on, and whenever you turn it on, it's me saying click.
That'd be hilarious.
So every time you click on something, it's just click.
Honestly, even if that wasn't like an option, it'd be great if that was like some kind of item you equip that changed the sound of that or something. Like, that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, in Diablo, there's the, I think it's a knife or something. Whenever you attack, it sounds like a chicken.
I remember, I mean, it's kind of just part of a side quest in this game, but in Cyberpunk, they have a gun that talks to you, because it has like an AI in it, or whatever.
Oh my god, I hate that gun.
I do too. But it's just like, he's just yelling at you the whole time. And I'm like, if I wanted to give Justin Roiland money, I would have played whatever that game he made is with the talking gun. But this is Cyberpunk, and I'm not here for the gun talking at me.
Oh, really? I was gonna say, does it have like a British accent?
I think it does, maybe, or it's like some kind of Austrian accent or something. I forget. It's been a while since I played Cyberpunk at this point.
It doesn't beat the talking gun from Borderlands. I think it was like the Bane SMG or something. Yeah. Just screams endlessly.
I put the most time into Borderlands 2, and that was a really fun time back in the day. I should probably play that again soon.
Always a good time on Borderlands 2, but not when your teammate's carrying around that gun and you just hear him shooting it and it's screaming at you.
I remember getting the rocket launchers that, like, every time you reload them, it just fires the whole chamber as a, like, its own projectile, and then you just, like, load a new one on there. I love that thing. Yeah, talking items are always, I mean, they can be hit or miss, but they're always interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it. Do we maybe later on? It doesn't seem like an early game kind of item.
April Fool's Limited quest. There you go. Boop boop.
No, give them like an offhand book, and all it is it just spouts random lore. Just you don't even know what it's talking about. It's just gonna spout nonsense and lore the whole time, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps talking.
I'd have to like record it all. Maybe it's a book and it just plays one of these podcasts.
Yeah. It's a lore book, and it just has all of our podcasts with different bits of lore.
Right on. Well, somehow we made it to 32 minutes, and hopefully some of what we talked about was interesting to everybody. I think I'll wrap this up unless anybody has anything else.
People should jump on the playtest and get the Bug Smasher item, because it's cool, and testers are cool. That's all. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. If you're listening to this and you're not and you haven't playtested, you got to do that. Go to Steam, search Dungeons of the Obelisk, join the playtest, wishlist the game for when it comes out. Of course, we have the playtester items that you'll get once the real game launches if you took part in the playtest. We also have our social media, which is Twitter and Instagram, both at Dungeons Obelisk. And of course, our Discord server. You can go to knobcat.com and find the link to our Discord server. And if you're listening to this podcast, you can probably leave a review somewhere. So find where that is, leave us 5 stars and write a review, because that would help other people find our game and let us know that you like the podcast. And I think that's everything. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
See ya.